Okay, I'm just doing this on yours because basically I hear what you're saying. Most people on food stamps work more than one job because the Republicans refuse to vote to raise, and that's true. There has been multiple times when they have had a chance to raise the minimum wage and to at least give people a fair shot because a lot of places $14 and something cents would be ideal to be able to sustain what you're doing. But when you're giving somebody $7.25 an hour, and then imagine most of the ones that work like in restaurant services and they have to rely on tips to make it, and then those tips are taxed, even though the Republicans said that when they took over that those tips wouldn't be taxed. When you add it all up in that little thing where they say, "Oh, we're not going to tax tips," you really don't make any money technically. The way the algorithm is set up for that taxing part of no tax and tips. So that really was a fail in itself. My thing is this is that people who are on food stamps, and I'm gonna just get to the crux of it, people who receive benefits. I don't care if it's food stamps, I don't care if it's let's say TANF, we gotta use the proper terms because some people just don't know. TANF, food stamps, which that's that Obamacare, ACA benefits, which have subsidies in it, these people, and the majority of them, vote against their interests because and a lot of people who run for office know that misogyny, hate, and bigotry always overrule people's common sense. So people vote for misogyny, bigotry, and hate instead of voting. It's like they vote for their hate, their misogyny and bigotry, and oh, let's get rid of immigrants, forgetting that most people in America come from immigrants. The first people to come to America when palm-colored people came here, most of those people came from Ireland, England, Britain, foreign countries. And a lot of those individuals came here illegally. So they're the descendants of immigrants. Some people came in that group came here illegally. A lot of people are currently finding that out, that their forefathers and ancestors were illegal. Yeah. And it's not just, it's all races of people came here. And they vote for the party who continuously says what you said. I'm not going to say those words because TikTok is quick to always get rid of my comments. Basically, they give the middle finger to their constituents and they vote for billionaires. They do everything for billionaires. And those billionaires, when you go to work for them, do not ensure that your wages are taken. I'm not saying all billionaires because I know there's a lot of them out there, like Mackenzie Bezos, who's constantly donating for the cause. There's a lot of billionaires that are out there looking out for little people. But there are a lot who are not. Like, from what I read, Elon was told from Peter Thiel not to give, like Elon was trying to go into this, I think it was like where he would donate some of his earnings to help out the middle or income. And if anything happens to him, Peter Thiel basically, and this is not allegedly, it is, you could look it up, was saying to him, no, don't do that, basically. And I'm saying to myself, because Peter Thiel allegedly doesn't do it. So when you're voting for one party, you're voting to enhance billionaires and the uber rich. When you vote for another party, they are the party of social service programs. This is plain. I can make it as plain and simple. One party is to enrich rich people. One party is to look out for the middle people and lower income and to help out all people. So, and you can look at how right now what's going on in Congress. The current bills that are sitting up in Congress are literally the one that was approved by the House had nothing in it for food stamps, WIC, and TANF, and nothing. Not even school lunches for kids. The other, and that bill passed with all one party, like all the Republicans voted to not even include WIC, food stamps, TANF, subsidies for medical, Medicare, or school lunch programs. It's not in the bill. But in that bill, there is they want taxpayer paid for security for each Republican in Congress. Yeah. And it was something else. And to push them a lot of their power to the presidency. So there would be like the House would give up pretty much a lot of their power, meaning, yeah. And then that's why a lot of the Republican Party came back after that bill was approved and said they got the bill the day prior, and a lot of them didn't even read it. Yeah, you can ask look at what Elizabeth Warren's been talking about. You can look up what a lot of people have been talking about is that a lot of them voted for this and don't even realize a lot of them need this, like Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's why, they're trying to put somebody up against her because Marjorie Taylor Greene is now realizing that her kids will suffer because of this. Yeah, her kids need subsidies to help with. They can't afford that insurance. See, right now people are focused on food stamps and TANF because it's about eating, but they're not realizing if you're not here, then you can't eat. So if you don't have subsidies to help you with your medical coverage and making sure you can see a doctor, then if you're not here, you can't eat. So it's like there's a twofold going on with this one party. Take away if you don't have food stamps and subsidies, if you don't have subsidies for Medicare and medical coverage, and then you can't eat because you ain't got the food stamps and WIC, we're talking lower income people and people who can't, even some of the middle income who have a lot of babies and want to, keep having babies because some people, and I'm not saying this all, but there are some people in this country, and that's the part that I don't agree with, who sit on their behinds. They are gainfully able to work, but because the system has been set up to pay for every single child that most people get, they literally will sit on their behinds and make $3,000 and $4,000 a month and not even think about working. And those are the people that I think should be taken off of food stamps, period. Everybody should be made to work. If you are an able-bodied individual, you should be out there working and getting a job. If you are someone who's been to war and you're missing a limb and you can't work, or you've out here for some reason you became disabled for a legitimate reason, then okay, give them the food stamps a week. But when you're somebody and you're out here and you're able to work and you're sitting on your behind doing nothing, then no. That's what needs to happen to the system. The system needs to be revamped, revitalized, and it needs to be for people who truly need it. Like, you should have to come in with medical records, like some type of medical paperwork showing why you think you need these food stamps. And it should not be based on how many children you have, because it's not every taxpayer's fault. It's not my fault you decided you didn't want to use protection and keep having all these kids. It's not my fault. It's like, and that's another thing that a friend of mine brought up to me. She was like, on one hand, they're saying, oh, we don't want people to have, get rid of babies, which is okay. And I agree. However, we don't want you to get rid of your babies, but we're not going to give you the subsidies, which they have the money, but they don't want to use the reserve to pay for the subsidies to feed your kids through TANF and WIC. TANF, WIC, or food stamps. And we're also not putting in the bill, or this is all originally billed, to help you get subsidies to ensure that you can have a decent amount of bill for your medical coverage. Yeah. It shouldn't take a smart person to figure out what this party was doing. It's like, we're going to let you have all these babies, but then we're not going to give you the benefits or the social service programs to help you. In turn, your kids are not going to eat. Your kids are going to get sick, and then you can't, and your people are going to get sick, and you're not going to be able to afford it. What's going to happen to that population, the middle and lower income, if they don't have medical coverage and food? Okay? Go back and look at what happened back in Nazi Germany. Go back and look at what happened in, like, it's right now in Palestine, in other countries. It's like forced, indirect erasure of a population. And I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm saying allegedly, because we know TikTok likes to take my stuff down, especially when I comment on stuff like what you're saying. But I agree with you 100%, but not with the cuss words, because you don't have to cuss at people. But I do agree with you. The minimum wage needs to be raised. If you are truly looking out for Americans, you want Americans to thrive and grow, all Americans that can get up and work should be working on a legitimate salary. And all these rich people need to pay their people and stop sucking all the money up for themselves. Because if it was not for their workers, they wouldn't be who they are. But if you're someone out there and you're paying your workers, kudos to you. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe and be smart out here in these streets. No rioting, no fighting, nothing. Regardless of what happens, stay calm, because if you get out here and you do anything crazy, you're going to make it worse. All right, again.